What if I told you the key to better relationships, more sales, and stronger willpower is a brain chemical that most people don't think about? Let's talk about dopamine. It's not just the feel good chemical, it's the get stuff done chemical. It's the neurochemical that tells your brain, this is worth it, do more of that. Dopamine is created primarily in the substantia nigra and the ventral tegmental area. These are two areas that are deep in the midbrain. And these little clusters of neurons basically run your motivational operating system. So here's the kicker. You can't even make dopamine without proper nutrition. Your body needs the amino acid tyrosine found in foods like almonds and bananas and eggs, chicken, avocados, and a handful of other cofactors like iron and B6 and magnesium to actually produce dopamine. So yes, what you eat literally shapes your motivation and pleasure chemistry. So we get dopamine boosts from small wins like crossing something off your to-do list, finishing the dishes, solving a puzzle, or hearing your favorite song. It's why video games are addictive and also why finishing that spreadsheet can feel oddly satisfying. So when Jamie and I first discovered this, we would yell at each other, motivationally, of course. That's not a pile of dishes. That's your opportunity for dopamine. Now go get your dopamine. One day I was out in the yard, and this was at our old house, and he yells at me from the house. I'm down by the chicken coop, and he's up in the house. He pulls the sliding glass door open. He's like, "Hey, Amy, your cat puked in here." I turned around without hesitating, and I yelled back, "That's not cat vomit. That's your opportunity for dopamine. Now go get your dopamine." And Jamie yells back, "Come get your own effing dopamine." So finishing tasks, you get dopamine. Starting tasks, not so much. That's where many people stall out, and that's a whole other topic. But dopamine doesn't just respond to rewards, it responds to the possibility of reward. So this is huge because that means that your brain and the brains of your clients or your partner or your coworkers, they start firing dopamine not when the reward happens necessarily, but when there's a chance it could happen. Now, some people's brains do fire on the reward. It's another topic. We can get into that later. But that's why sometimes unpredictability can be intoxicating, like a slot machine. Now, if you earned, like a slot machine, the randomness of it gives that dopamine hit when you win. But if you were guaranteed to earn a penny every single time you pulled the lever, you'd get bored pretty quick. So dopamine-rich environments are magnetic. During the pandemic, we actually created a very dopamine-rich environment in our home, and it was so much fun. And this was at a time when dopamine was kind of scarce, right? What we did was, with the help of my brilliant husband, we created Grandma Amy's movie theater. We recreated an entire movie theater inside our bedroom. It had a movie projector that projected on the big screen on the wall. We had seating. It had a concession stand that you could buy actual candy and popcorn at and soda. And we also put a sign on the door with a velvet rope in front of the door for a whole week. So we printed out tickets, gave the tickets to our grandson, and it was like a thing. It was an event that was happening, and he would just stand outside holding the tickets, and he'd stand outside with the velvet rope, and he'd be dancing because he was just so excited. He'd be like, "Please, can I come in? Can I come in?" We're like, "Nope, you gotta wait." He was so excited, and it was so much fun, and it created so much dopamine in the house for him, for the adults. We were all looking forward to this night, this movie night, and it was a blast. So let me paint a dopamine picture for you. So say you're wandering through a desert. You're tired, you're thirsty, and you're hungry. You've been out there for a couple days, you're exhausted, and suddenly you find a box of cookies. Jackpot! That box isn't just cookies, it's a miracle. You'd eat every last one. And even me being gluten-free, I wouldn't care. I'd eat the entire box. Now that same box of cookies, but you're in Safeway. You have a full belly, you've got options everywhere. That's not that exciting. That's dopamine. In the desert, you're dopamine deprived, so the cookies feel like a jackpot. In the store, You're dopamine rich, plenty of you're fine, everything's around you, so you can walk right past it. You skip the cookies. See, dopamine doesn't always just affect you. It affects how the people around you behave towards you. If your partner is constantly picking fights, there's a reason their brain is perceiving some kind of reward in that pattern. But in a dopamine rich environment where there's a consistent positive possibility of pleasure, connection, fun, or growth, they skip right past the drama. Just like you skip the cookie aisle in Safeway. So that's the power of internal chemistry meeting external strategy. And it's why sales Tai Chi works. You're not pushing people, you're pulling their brain into alignment with what already feels good for them.